gonna drink my beer before we go.
BigGunner81. I want to thank our sponsors, BAT Arms. You can check them out at batarms.com, and also Eggleston Munitions at egglestonmunitions.com. They are a manufacturer of polymer-coated projectiles out in Colorado Springs, Colorado, made right here in the USA. Also, Tier 1 Training Corporation, TYR1training.com for all your firearms training needs. And our newest sponsor that we just added, Applied Arsenal Finishes. You can check them out at, I believe it's, well, you can check them out on Facebook at Applied Arsenal Finishes. And we'll be checking them out next week. They'll be on the show. You can also go out to their Facebook. They have a giveaway going on that we'll be announcing next week. So check that out as well. Tonight we got a nice show lined up. We got a couple nice ladies here with us. Both members of Team SIG, right? We got Jacqueline Jane. Sorry, I'm gonna mess up your name.
Yay!
Hashtags, love it. And then we've got
hashtag on the board.
And we got Annette Evans as well with us, and sorry, go ahead and say hello. Sorry.
Hello, Mom. Are you listening?
Nice. And then, of course, our in-house gunsmith and match director, Ryan Wiggins, is with us tonight as well, too.
Good evening.
So, yeah, welcome, guys. I appreciate you coming out. And I guess we'll kind of talk a little bit about, we've got a lot of things we can talk about. We were having a lot of fun conversation before the show, too, which was great. I guess we'll start with Jacqueline, since you're on the screen here first. Tell us a little bit about your shooting background, how you got started into stuff and what you do and everything.
Okay, sure. So, unlike a lot of people, I actually didn't start shooting until just short of 7 years ago. I shot once in my people I went with didn't really teach me anything, so I thought, oh, I hate this. I'm never going to do this again. But I went to an outdoor expo event in 2009 and absolutely fell in love with shooting. It was a class called Babes with Bullets with some amazing, wonderful women who are actually the top USPSA shooters in the world, and I immediately fell in love with competing in competition, and so I've been doing that ever since.
And Annette, what about you, Annette? What's your background on shooting and everything?
So I started shooting about 9 years ago. I had decided at some point earlier in my life that every girl should know how to shoot a gun. Just like every girl should know how to change a flat, do some basic plumbing, shoot a gun. Made sense to me then. And it sort of sat in the background until my husband had gotten the opportunity to go to the gun range as a work team building activity. I really wish I worked for a company like that, but that's what he got to do. And I looked at him and said, well, if you got to go to the range, I want to go to the range. This is something that every girl should know how to do. Fell in love with it and, started looking for classes, figured out I couldn't practice things that I learned in classes without going to this thing called the match. Lost a lot for a long time and decided I was tired of that, and here I am today.
Okay. What kind of matches did you start out with exactly, though? You said you didn't get to try certain things until you actually got to go to something called a match, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that I'd learned how to draw a gun out of a holster, draw a pistol out of a holster in a defensive carry class. But that's not something most of our commercial ranges allow. But if you went to a match, and I went to, first some outlaw sort of club matches, combat pistol, action pistol, and then I found an IDPA match locally, and they said, hey, you can draw from a holster here. Okay.
Nice. Exactly, and that's been my experience too. Is that all the commercial ranges, indoor ranges, and so forth don't let you do certain things. Even one of the benefits of being a member of the club that I'm a member of, you get to move and shoot and do stuff that you can't do at a lot of the regular ranges. So it's wonderful. Yep. So, I guess first question I'm going to go with too is, what for Jacqueline? What was the very first match that you participated in? I don't know if you answered that already or not. If I missed that.
No, actually. I do remember. The first match I shot was a USPSA match, actually out at Ben Avery in North Phoenix.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Starting out.
That's my range.
It's about an hour away from me, so I don't shoot there as much. as I would like to because it's far and matches are early, and I don't like to get up early.
That's funny you say it's
but
far, an hour away. My club is
I
not.
know.
Yeah, my club's an hour away.
Oh, sorry. So it was, and I am fortunate to live in the practical shooting capital of the world. So there were a lot of people there to help, which was great. Once they realized that I was new, I had people helping me through everything. And still to this day, really, we were talking about that before we went live. This is an amazing community of people. If you're thinking about starting, go watch. Start talking to people. There will be tons of people there that are ready to help you.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
That's something that like I always say too as well. Like my whole thing about doing this YouTube channel was, as someone who's kind of starting out in the past couple of years here, I have a lot of questions that maybe novices like myself would ask, and that might be beneficial to people out there that may be afraid to ask or whatever. You know, they just don't know, and it's a great thing. And I want to help people who are apprehensive about maybe going out and shooting, whether they're big people like me who are like, I don't know if I'll do this very well or not, be successful with it. Just to know that it's okay that if you don't do very well, it's good if you go out and do it and have fun. And everybody's so supportive, regardless of the competitive factor. You know.
Let me tell you about my first year of shooting matches after I started IDPA.
Good.
I used to come in last place, and when we say last place, IDPA is a time plus scoring, so it's your seconds, the amount of time it took you to shoot something plus penalties. So you'd have a match winner, and he'd have a match time of 60 seconds, 80 seconds, and then you would have they'd all kind of fall in place behind him, and you might get up to like 160, 180, and then you'd have me, and I'd be at like 400.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like a year. We used to celebrate when I came in last place by not that much. Only like 10 or 12 seconds this time.
Well, I can say when I started out with this too, by the way, I think I may have been in last maybe a couple times, but then I started moving up with practical rifle. But when it came to pistol work right recently, I did the 3-gun, and then just recently I went and did a practical police combat shoot, and it was
those are tough.
It was not my thing, but it was good practice for a USPSA style outlaw match that I had, and you guys can see the videos on my YouTube for it. But the practical police combat was just boring, and I was more thinking the line of thought of shoot fast, not so much the super accurate shooting, and I did horrible. I probably came in last in that. In fact, the best part of that whole thing was the very last shot I took, very last round, very last string, I knocked my target down. I took out the target holder. You have to see it. It's on the video. It's funny.
Nice.
That's
Everybody was
awesome.
laughing. I was laughing. It was a good time.
I shot a Glock match a few years ago, the GSSF matches, and I knew, but I didn't really understand that it was pretty much, it's really accuracy based because they only give you, I think it's 10 rounds, and I just went out there and I blazed everything. I'm like, oh, it's not just a time thing.
Right.
Oh, I'm like, I'm like, I missed that steal 3 times. What? I'm out of ammo? I don't understand.
You said this is an IDPA or USPSA?
That was a GSSF match, one of the Glock only matches.
Oh, okay.
Where they have the really
Federation,
specific
whatever.
stages, and then they shoot them everywhere around the country. Yeah, that's not a speed match.
Okay.
No,
So
it's
you
not.
know, yeah, it's an accuracy match.
Yeah, it's really weird to get into these different types of games, whether it's 3-gun or USPSA, or I have not tried IDPA or that kind of stuff, and I've done practical rifle. But they all have their own little idiosyncrasies and different ways you have to play them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Yes, they do.
And something I'll say I picked up on recently, and you can give me your thoughts on this. Like going from the world of 3-gun, because I went from like practical rifle to 3-gun. Going back to or starting into a pistol competition, it makes, to my opinion, it really breaks down and makes your stage planning, like how you're going to attack a stage, so much simpler because you're not trying to figure out with shotgun and rifle. You're just like, boom, now I got it.
Oh, there's so many subtleties to USPSA stage planning. I was having a conversation last night on how far away it made sense to run to a target to get closer to go faster, and looking at them. It gets very, very technical.
The percentages, that's a low percentage shot, that's a high
Yeah.
percentage position.
Just skip that target because it's not worth it.
Oh,
Right. That's a good point. You know, there's so many things I'm learning like that too. Like you said, skip that target because it may take you longer to get to it or whatever versus the penalty.
Absolutely.
Makes
It's a
sense.
really strange thing to try to train your brain to do. You're like, no, I have to shoot at all the targets.
I agree.
But really, especially like with clamshells and things that have a really high risk reward, I've gone through matches not shooting almost any of the moving stuff because it's all hit factor. So if it slows you down or if you end up getting a penalty, you're worse off than if you didn't shoot it at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what was funny too about this USPSA Outlaw match was it was only 2 stages, right? Because it was indoor range, and on the second stage that I did, I missed one of the targets on the walkthrough. I didn't even see it, so I missed it obviously in the match, and that really hurt my score. I was surprised at how well I was actually doing because on the first stage for like a quarter of the way through, I was in like 3rd place, and then I knocked down to like 7th on the first stage, and I was like about 25 people each because there's 47 shooters total on the match. And then the second stage, I missed that one target, and that really dropped me down to I think like 18th place, and then in the end I finished at 15th out of overall. I was really happy with that from my skill level, but it is how the targets affect your score pretty drastically if you miss something on the walkthrough or don't plan it right. So.
One thing I found actually is that my ability to do stage breakdown for USPSA has helped me a lot when I shoot 3-gun because I know how to break down a stage. The only decision now I have to make is which gun do I do it with. And I know how to program a stage into my head so that when I go out there and shoot it, I don't have to think about what to do next. I just do it.
Okay, makes sense. And I think it just comes in practice and learning and all that to become better and better. Just going out and trying to plan these stages in your head and talking with people to try to learn how to do it better. But in my opinion too, the best thing is that these things change all the time. So it's not like you can go and learn one stage and then come back to it and be the same unless it's like a qualifier of some type.
There are similarities across stages that help. There's just certain things that are always going to show up. Then the more matches you shoot, the more things are going to look alike to you.
That's true. That's really true. And the more you'll be able to break it down in your head and see, oh wait, that's a 3-target array that's really similar to something I've shot 10 times, and it's about starting to see things in a different way.
So here's a question for both of you, and I'll start with you, Jacqueline. What was the most interesting stage that you remember shooting? Like, what was your most funnest stage?
Oh my gosh.
What was it that you had and made it the greatest thing to shoot?
My memory is terrible, but actually, last month, at the beginning of the month, I shot it was a special match. It was 4 rounds. It was just a local match out at Rio Salado in Mesa by a group called Hostmasters. And what they did was they made all of the stages 40-plus rounds.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Oh, yeah. There was like a 46, a 47, a 50 or 51 rounds stage. It was great. It was great because like halfway through it, you're like, oh, I'm not done yet. I'm like, oh my God, do I have any magazines left? and they put so I shoot production, and they put 12, 13 rounds in a port. So you had to reload in the middle of it, and then steal. So then if you missed, I had to do 2 reloads in a port to get through it because of a miss and then getting into the next position. But it was so much fun because there was so much shooting. It was like, I mean, my belt weighed like 100 pounds, got like 80 rounds on me, but it was so much fun because there was so much shooting time.
Got it. So Annette, what stage stands out in your mind as like one of the coolest things or greatest ones ever, or something interesting that you want to share?
I'm going to cheat and go with the recent stage too. So about a week and a half ago, because we're crazy here in PA, I shot the Holiday Hose Fest at Antolani Rod and Gun Club, which is that 10-stage local match that I mentioned to you guys before we went live. So they had a stage that was sort of an around-the-world stage. There were 4 boxes. You could shoot it from 3 boxes. And I went back and forth with, I had a little friendly rivalry going on with one of the Team HK shooters that was there that day. So he shot it one way, and then one of our local GMs shot it another way and had a little issue, and it left the field wide open. And I went out there and I blazed. I just the trigger as fast as I could, ran as fast as I could, gun, everything just came together. And yeah, I beat both of them pretty hard. It was pretty awesome.
You can see it on her Facebook page too. She kicked butt. Seriously, she did.
It actually, it was my first Instagram video to go kind of viral, and I'm somewhere around 500 likes on it right now, which was pretty cool too.
Nice, good job. So speaking of the pistol shooting, though, what do you guys shoot for pistols right now? I'll start with you, since Annette. So, what are you shooting for your competition pistol?
So since I am a member of Team SIG, and I guess my camera doesn't go that well, there, I'll do the boob shot.
I got a hashtag. Yeah, you guys are talking about hashtags earlier. My hashtag, I don't have it where I can show you guys, but it's SIG Sugar. That's what my hashtag is, because my friends were making fun of me because I shoot a SIG in my competitions. And I'm like, my P26, by the way. So
P26 is a beautiful gun.
I love it. So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
But I shoot a P320, which is the polymer striker-fired gun.
Yes.
So that's kind of, that's what we're out here to do as Team SIG, and Jackie has it up there right now. Mine is in my safe right now because I've been dry firing too much, and I need to keep the gun away from me.
Right on. Like I was telling you earlier, I have the P250, and then it came out 320 afterwards, and I'm like, man, I wish I would have waited. I tried one of those 320s, and the trigger was so nice, and the feel of it is nice, and the whole idea of the modularity of it, so you can change the calibers and all that stuff, is really cool, and the frames and all that. So,
well, it is really cool, because one of the things I'm doing right now, one of the reasons my hands are so beat up, is I'm actually going down and visiting Jackie next month and shooting Phoenix Handgunner, which is a steel match, and the only divisions that they're running are basically iron sights are open.
Okay.
And that means instead of shooting my production setup, which is what I normally shoot, I'm shooting my limited setup. And my sights are going to be exactly the same. My trigger is going to be exactly the same. Going to have this giant honking magwell on my gun. And it's going to add, it's like 4 ounces of brass from Springer Precision. And I can have my extended mags and everything, which I really hope I don't need. But it means I can make an ideal setup where all the important parts of the gun are exactly identical for me.
Right. So you can just switch out the fire control on it, switch the frame and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is the first gun that yay. This is the first gun I have ever owned that I can reach the mag release with my right thumb because of this amazing grip. And mine has extra sparkles.
Nice. Yeah, I
have extra sparkles on mine too. Mine's zebra.
Yes, you do.
I'm a big fan of the purple, by the way. That's one of my favorite colors, believe it or not. I'm not going to do my rifle in purple. Me and Brian were talking about that with the new sponsor I have for the Cerakoting and stuff. We got some cool stuff coming out of that. But
have you seen my purple zebra?
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
I have a purple zebra striped SBR.
Let's see it.
Oh, let me dig up a picture and I'll share it up with you guys.
Okay.
Hey, are there still slots for that Phoenix Handgunner?
I hope so, because I haven't registered yet.
Ryan wants to go
What's your problem? I'm coming for you.
I know. I'm terrible. I printed it out last night. I'll mail it in tomorrow, I swear. Check is in the mail.
They don't have an online registration?
No. But it's at Avery, so you might be able to drop it off.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes from my house.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
That's nice.
All my friends are shooting that. I might show up.
Yeah, because you said you're a match director out there too.
Yeah, I'm the match director for 3-Gun out of Ben Avery for a 3-Gun Nation Club Series.
Right on. That's what I was trying to say.
And what's really cool about the Phoenix Handgunner match is there's going to be a lady squad.
Nice.
Because there is a gun on the table for High Lady.
Very cool. And that's something else too. I know we were talking about earlier was that, I'm a big proponent of women in shooting sports. I want to do anything I can to help with promoting what you guys do. I kind of don't like the fact that there's so much segregation between it all. I like to see more women out there. I don't like to see the divide of being like the dominant male thing. That's just me. I mean, I have a lot of love for women that come out and do shooting. So. Here's a question I've asked before to other people, and I want to get your opinion on this one. What do you think, for us men, what can we do to help get women out to do shooting?
What can you do
Like to
to
encourage or
help? Oh,
I'm just curious what your
um,
answers are because it may be different than what I've heard before, but I'm just curious.
so okay, I'm gonna go with something that there's one of my friends named Allison. She works for IDPA. She actually told me a story that was really, really cool that kind of illustrates what I think people, not just men, should be doing. So one of the guys she shoots with, her, his wife was there, and she was terrified. She was terrified of touching or looking at or anything of the gun. So they asked her, "Do you want to shoot?" She's like, "Oh my God, no." And they said, "Well, why don't you just hold it? Why don't you just put it in your hand and just, see how it feels?" And after a while, they're like, "Well, why don't you just dry fire it?" And they did that. And then by the end, she's like, "Can I shoot it now?" So
Yeah,
it, I
because
mean,
it gets the
everybody,
curiosity factor going. You're like, got it in your hand. You like, what's next?
exactly.
I feel comfortable with this. What's next?
So many people, not just women, we've already got it in our heads that we're terrified because we've believed the movies and TV, and God only knows what else has gotten into our heads up to the point where we start shooting. So it's there, and it's, first of all, it's real. So the whole, oh, don't be afraid of it, whatever. You know what? It's not
Right.
real, but it's real in our heads at the time. So you have to kind of address that and deal with it, and just work through the person at the pace that they're comfortable with.
Yep.
Right. That makes sense. I like that. Like you said, the person, it doesn't have to be necessarily women, but I mean, I've heard that before. Like, well, I'll ask Annette first what her opinion is too. So,
That's an awesome story. Though I will say there's a shooter that I had to push very, very hard, and what we had to do for her was to find, we had to find what she was more afraid of than shooting the gun, which in her case, as a she was interested in shooting for defensive purposes,
okay.
and what we found for her was she was she hated the idea of somebody coming to her child more than she hated the idea of shooting the gun.
I've
She's
heard
a
that reference
heck of a
before too.
shooter.
Right. I've heard that before, like the whole mentality of like, if you're in that position, then you're gonna want to have that gun to use.
Yeah.
So I get that. And what I've heard before as far as getting women out in shooting sports or in shooting in general was to basically leave them alone.
That's actually kind of it. One of the things where I was actually going to go is that I think that if you want to keep women in the shooting sports, because I think we're doing a really good job of bringing new women in, if you want to keep them and grow them, find the good and find the bad, both.
Okay.
When they come off the stage, tell them what they did really awesome, but don't tell them that they did really awesome when they didn't. We know.
Yes.
We know when we failed. We know when we screwed up. Acknowledge that. Let us have our, fit about that. But don't forget to remind us that there was something good that we did too.
Definitely.
But yeah, positive reinforcement, encouragement. I mean, that's a key. I think my thought was too, yeah, giving them their own space to do their own thing with it, and not trying to be overbearing and help too much. That's what I've kind of learned lately.
Oh yeah.
There's ways to support from afar, I guess, in a way, and positive reinforcement. I mean, that's what I've come up with. But I just wanted to get your input on it as well. By the way, our friend Toby is out there watching, and he was trying to come up with questions, and ironically, every question he's been sending me, I answered like 2 seconds later before he gets it to me. So he's still trying to come up with questions.
I'm getting questions too. Hey, Tina.
There you go.
I
I load
my
my own ammo. Nice. They ask.
I do.
So, Annette, do you load your own ammo also?
With help. So I'm really, really lucky. One of our team's teammates has a really lovely motorized Dillon, and he lets me go over and use it.
Oh,
Okay, so me too.
Isn't it amazing? You stand on this pedal and bullets come out the other end.
There's no pedal. We still have to do this thing, but it.
Yeah, the motorized setup is very,
Yeah.
very, very nice. I have the Hornady press myself. I wouldn't mind having the Dillon.
I had one of those. It kind of works. Well, it's just amazing how many more rounds per hour you can get out of the Dillon. It really is.
Yeah, I think they're both great products. I'm not knocking either one.
They're. I mean, if you're when you're getting to the level that we're at, when you're shooting thousands of rounds a month,
You
you
are.
need everything. I know. Annette, I don't want you to shoot thousands of rounds a month because I will never ever beat you if you shot as much as I did.
So speaking of that, your competition part, how did you guys meet exactly? You and Annette.
Oh,
So I know you
okay.
guys are friends. Obviously, you guys are on here with us. You
We
know.
are.
I'll
We're
let you
friends.
tell
We're
that story.
best friends that have only met in person once,
Yeah, you guys
actually.
don't live close to each other, obviously. I think you're
No.
in Arizona and she's in Pennsylvania, correct?
Exactly.
We probably get more work done that way.
Oh, yeah, we barely get work
Well,
done as it is right now.
so
So,
tell.
yeah. So last year, last October, last year now, 2014, was the first Lady Three Gun match in Atlanta in October. And about a month before the match, they put together a Facebook group so the women could talk and we could get some information about it. And so I couldn't help but notice that Annette was asking the same questions that I was, like, what's the round count? What are the stages going to look like? What's pistol? What's shotgun? What's rifle? There you go. So,
I missed that. Was it a hashtag again?
yeah, and so girls only.
Which, by the way, Toby said you guys had to have met because, you guys shop at the same store because you guys had the same shirts on.
Yes. Oh my God. What am I going to do? You're wearing the same thing that I'm wearing. I'm so embarrassed. So we started talking on the side. We started messaging each other, and because I was thinking, oh, I like this chick. She's asking the same questions that I was asking. We're talking about the shooting because there's kind of two sets. There's some overlap, but there's women that are involved in competition and shooting more for the social aspect. They're fairly competent at shooting, but they don't have the drive and motivation to be better. Like Annette and I, we want to win, not just hi lady. We want to win. We want that trophy, the trophy at the top. And I saw that in her too. And so pretty soon we were just chatting away. And she actually really, really helped me with that match because I hate shotgun. I hate it. I just
say that.
I know. I just can't. I just don't feel it. So I went into that match with, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 three-gun matches under my belt. And like with 2 weeks left, I'm like, I'm just going to suck and have fun. And she's like, don't you dare do that. You need to get out there and just try a little bit and you'll kick ass. And I went, what? You're right. That's exactly what I need to do. So I went out and I shot a couple shotgun matches and a couple rifle things, like very last second, because that's totally me. And I ended up coming in 20th out of 107 in my division, which is amazing because I maybe shot 7 or 8 three-gun matches in that year. So that girl right there is the one that like pushed me to actually try and do well. So and then it was just friends ever since. Plus we both have had the purple thing going forever. So
See, I go out
And we're both really snarky.
I go out to shoot these
Not
things
at
for
all.
socializing, and Brian goes out to these things for the party.
Yep.
You know, I don't think that I don't want anybody to get the impression that socializing and being a shooter for the
No.
social aspect is a bad thing because this
Correct.
community is amazing.
It is.
It's
We
just
have
that I mean, it's incredible. It's just that for some of us, you know, I'm here for the community and I'm here to win. One of my proudest moments of 2015 is I won the divisional overall at one of our local matches. And when I say local match, I'm talking 70, 80 shooters, 30, 40 in production division.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's what I'm chasing. And that's not the same for everybody. And it doesn't have to be. And that's
No, it doesn't. We're just
But-
crazy competitive.
a little type A
And-
over there.
And motivated.
But you guys are having a lot of fun, and that's what the best part is. Even with the competition part of it, you're not taking away from the fun factor at all.
Oh, no.
You know?
No, I have to remember. I have this terrible joke on the range. I'm like, oh, yeah, fun. That's right. This is supposed to be fun because I take it too seriously sometimes. But it really is. It really is fun. And the people are, can I say again, amazing. So it makes it really fun to I want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning most of the time to go shoot because I want to hang out with these people and shoot. And sometimes shooting is the secondary part of being out there because people are so incredible.
Right on. And like I met Ryan through doing the YouTube stuff. He's been on here almost every week now since, and that's been awesome. And we're looking forward to SHOT Show because we're gonna meet up for the first time. Just like hopefully we'll be able to meet up with both of you ladies as well while we're out there.
Definitely.
This is a
should.
It's awesome. It's just a big, huge, like happy family in a sense when it comes to the shooting sports stuff. And for people that are on the outside that haven't tried it yet and maybe don't know what gear they need and that kind of stuff, and they're trying to figure out for the first time that there's a lot of helpful people out there. And once you get into it, the people that are going to be surrounded by in the shooting sports are not going to let you just sit there and fail. They're going to try to help you and support you to get you going. Like we said before, if gear's an issue, people are willing to give you gear to use, and they're going to help teach you a little bit, and so forth. Now, one thing that always comes up for beginners is DQs. Have either of you two ladies had the experience of being DQ'd at all?
Yes. I had my first one last year, finally.
What happened?
There are shooters who have DQ'd and shooters who will DQ, and I was really afraid of when it was going to happen because it hadn't yet. So I had a really bad jam because I was a bad girl and did not case gauge my ammo for a match. And in the process of trying to clear this amazing, incredible death jam, I dropped my gun.
Oh, no.
So that kind of stank. It was like one of the early matches in the season, and it was the first stage of the day, and I was done. So we got my gun clear. I picked up the timer. I worked the rest of the match.
Nice. So at least
now
you
it's
hung
over.
out with everybody. You contributed, even though you lost out on shooting the rest of the match.
Yeah, but I saw all the stages, and my ride home was on that squad, so I kind of had to stay. But I got to see all the stages. I got to practice ROing, which was a great experience, and I got to make for a better day for everybody else. So.
So Jacqueline, have you had that experience yet?
I knock on something. I have not DQ'd yet, but I've had a couple of really close calls, and I've had one that probably should have been, but it was like a go sideways and then have to move back into like a little corner, and I think I probably broke the 180, and the RO was just yelling muzzle, and I looked at him, and he didn't say stop, so I kept going. But
he really broke it, and he didn't call you on it, basically.
Yeah, he didn't call me on. It was one of those. He called me over afterwards, like, yeah, I probably should have called you on that. And that was at an area match too. That was a USPSA area match. So I was really happy that I made the decision to keep going too, because that's another thing is don't stop until someone tells you to stop.
Yes.
Don't try to catch your gun if it falls. And don't DQ yourself.
You mentioned area match because I'm learning the terminology of some of these things. I haven't done much USPSA. Is an area match like the equivalent of like a regional series?
Yeah,
that's a pretty good way. Yeah, it's so USPSA is set up in different regions.
There's 8 of them in the U.S.
Okay.
Thank you very
You
much.
call them areas?
Yeah. And I couldn't tell you how they were split up, but I mean you don't have to be in the area to shoot the area match, but they're just under the nationals basically.
Well, that's true. I mean, because like me and Ryan are, Toby just mentioned you got our room booked for reservations booked for Florida. We're going down to Florida 3 Gun Nation Southeastern Regionals February, right?
Yeah. Wonder if Toby will let me sleep on his couch.
You have to message him and see. I might be sleeping on the couch or the floor. I don't even know. I'm just going. So, yeah, it'll be fun, though.
You might even have to wear a light jacket there.
In Florida, you think?
At night.
You might. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm going to have to find out.
I don't want to hear it.
I know.
Well,
15 degrees
there.
outside right now. That's the warm part of the day.
You can see outside right now, it's all ice and cold and nasty. So I might not need a jacket. We'll see. But I'm interested to see what Vegas is going to be like when we go to SHOT Show in less than 2 weeks.
It could. You know what? It's the Southwest is a fickle place. It could be close to 70 and beautiful, and it could be 50 and raining. I've been Oh, I think this will be my
It's warm.
sixth shot show. Yeah, you're like, it's warm. Like, no, it's 60 degrees here today. It's freezing and it's raining all day. But you're not outside ever, really, at SHOT Show. Um, you're maybe a little bit getting from place to place, but you won't remember it, probably. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Or at least the last part of it, and you'll somehow eventually get back to your hotel room.
I don't
But
know.
yeah,
There's a
it doesn't
room
really
check.
it doesn't really matter what the weather is like. It just makes it slightly more inconvenient if it's raining, and that's all.
Yeah.
And
I
here,
think it's
SHOT
more
Show.
fun.
Here's a crazy SHOT Show tip that people don't usually know. It gets really warm on the floor at the show. So if it's really cold outside and you've got like 10 layers on, you're dying.
I plan on
in
not
like
taking
an
the coat
hour.
and
Yeah.
taking because I'm gonna be next to the hotel. The hotel I'm in is gonna be next to the venue, so I'll just like I'll run quickly through the cold if I have to,
There you
and not
go.
have to deal with the coat
Perfect.
and stuff.
Yeah, don't over layer for the floor because you'll be warm.
Right. I
And
figured
water.
that.
It's like $18 a bottle for water or something like that.
Oh
there.
my gosh.
Can you bring in
Yeah,
your
I
own
don't think
food
I
and
know it's
drink?
I don't think
expensive.
I don't think it's that bad, but it's pretty close.
Can you
I'll
bring
be
in
down
your
there.
own food and drink?
Oh
No.
yeah, absolutely.
See, there you go.
The media credentials here, so.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
I think, from what I'm hearing, though, the media room has some type of beverages possibly throughout the day.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
My favorite part, this really is, ask people that know me, my favorite part of SHOT Show is the coffee bar they have in the press room. Because
I'm sending you
they
after
have,
it.
no, seriously, listen, wait. They have white and dark chocolate shaving and fresh whipped cream on the table with your coffee, so you can make this perfect gourmet coffee. I'm
I should have
really
gotten a press pass.
I know. I'll sneak you some out. I have my
nice.
So yeah, I must go into the press room. Watch,
So
they
you-
won't have it now for the first year ever because I said that.
I don't know. I've heard they have stuff in the press room. I've never been there, so I won't know. But did you say you have press credentials? You guys do too, or no?
I do for my blog.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Right on.
Yeah.
And I'm going on SIG credentials.
With SIG?
Yes.
Very cool. And like I said, I'm a big SIG fan. I love my SIG stuff. SIG sugar is my hashtag, so I love that one. I got to use it a little more
I like
often.
that.
But I was given that.
I like that.
I was given that hashtag or given that name by I think I don't know if it was Jake or Patrick. I think it was Jake from MGS Firearms, or it was Patrick from One Shot Kill It Media, who have been regulars on the show, but recently they've been kind of busy and stuff, especially they're getting ready for SHOT Show and everything else going on. So they haven't been on the show in the past couple weeks or whatever. But yeah, I love that hashtag. I think it's funny. But
It's
You know.
going to get used a lot more.
It is.
yes, use it.
It
SIG sugar.
is going to get you. I'm
I
writing it
have a
down.
6 hour shirt. A lot of times I wear it in my competitions because I'm like, one of the few people that usually is out there shooting my my SIG.
There's going to be so many more SIGs out there. There are getting to be a lot more SIGs out there.
I hope so, because I know the Glocks and the 1911s are predominant, it seems, and I like the idea behind the Glock where you can just throw it in the bucket, but in my 226 it slows you down to have to hit the decocker on it. And well, by the way, one of the things
But the
I have
320
to-
you can throw in the bucket.
Oh, you can. I don't remember the last time I cleaned that. I
cleaned my guns last week.
yay!
nice.
It was a full day production, and I'm still not done.
I have not cleaned my guns since before November, I think, when I went to South Carolina. I was talking about that in
You
my
guys
video.
sound
I
like
think,
some
today.
featured customers.
Yeah.
I know.
It was a little chunky in there, but it was running great.
A little chunky.
Yeah.
Nice. Featured
Can I still see the parts inside? Then I don't need to clean it. I know that's
Still
terrible.
running. Yes.
When
It's
it
a
comes to
protective
shooting,
layer.
my rifle's sitting on the bench right now because I just did a video I posted about basically what my rifle finished out 2015 like after a couple small modifications and different things I've done to it throughout the year. But it's sitting there waiting to be torn down, but I'm going to clean it up with the Lucas products, actually, believe it or not. I've got some
Awesome.
samples.
Yay!
I
So
love Lucas. I'm also Team Lucas Oil, so.
yes, I recently got converted over to using Lucas products after November or during November, and I really like them. I've been using the gunmetal polish on all my brass polishing, and I tell you what, I've been polishing brass like crazy. You see, some of you guys that are watching my Facebook have seen some of my artwork and stuff I've been doing.
I think you messaged me and you're like, dude, I just got my brass. I just got my brass so shiny. I was like, all right, awesome, man.
Yeah, it's working pretty good. The brass is coming out pretty nice, but I've been using the same media. I think I've done like several thousands of rounds of 223 now and 9mm. And I've only used probably like 4 tablespoons of the additive to my big tumbler, and it's coming out great. So I'm really impressed with it.
Their stuff is amazing, and I'm not just saying that because they sponsor us. They're amazing people too. Because I was using it before I came to the team. So because that's why I don't clean my gun, because all I have to do is like throw some of the extreme oil on it and just go. And it just keeps going.
When I first started doing this, I was really particular. After every time I went to the range, after every match, cleaning them.
I remember those days.
I don't do that. And I'm like, now I kind of backed off, and I'm like, no big deal. But I did have at one point with my SIG, believe it or not. Actually, no, it was with the other 226, but it was still fairly newer than this one, where the tolerances were probably still a little tighter. After not being cleaned and it kind of got a little dry, I was getting to the point where you have to slam the slide forward to get it to go in battery.
Yeah,
that's when you know it's time to clean
every time.
What's that?
That's when you know you clean it.
Yeah, that's when I knew it was time. I mean, it wouldn't do it every single time, but it would hang up a little bit once in a while, and you smack it, and it was fine. And then I'm like, yep, it's dry. You could tell there wasn't enough oil or stuff on it, so I gotta keep that up on that. But yeah, I have to clean my pistol and my rifle and all that. My shotgun's still clean because, ironically, I didn't take my shotgun with me or I took it with me, but I didn't use it at that match. I used my sponsor gave me or lent me a F&H SLP comp to take with, which I really liked. That was the first time loading shot shells, by the way. That's a challenge.
I quad loaded at the First Lady 3-gun match and had people like coming over to watch because they couldn't believe a girl quadded back then. Now everyone's doing it. So
yeah, I've never tried quad load. So
it's really doable.
But realistically, the first time I started doing any type of loading from the belt into a shotgun was basically at that match. Right before that match in November, I practiced a little bit, but at the match is when I was actually doing it. And then when I got home, I spent a little bit of time practicing and just doing doubles, trying to get used to it. And I made a video actually on it. And this is like only the 3rd time. I mean, I guess doing it. I guess you can kind of say. But let me see. I'll pull it up for you guys in a second and show you.
Yeah, I'm still behind the par on loading, doing the load 2s.
You know what happened?
No way, Ryan. You cannot be behind on that.
I can quad load. I just don't have the gear for it yet.
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought you were saying that you were having issues with loading doubles.
No, in matches, I just load 2s.
Well, I mean, the reason that I quadded, though, is because I had to learn how to load a shotgun that year for that match, and nobody told me I couldn't. And this is something I think that's true for a lot of women, and circle back to that a little bit, is if you don't tell them they can't do something, or you tell them that they can do something, they'll probably figure out how to do it.
Yeah, that's me sometimes. If you tell me I can't do it, I'll try to figure it out and get it done.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But I find for a lot of women, tell me I can't do it and I might believe you. Don't tell me I can't do it and I won't know any better.
So here's me loading the F&H, by the way. Just going through it. It's like only a quick little video of me doing it, but it's going to be kind of choppy when you watch it on here, but you can check it out on YouTube if you want to see it. It's this is only the 3rd time I practiced it once before the match a few times, and then I did it at the match, and then afterwards this is the only other time I practiced doing loading from the belt like that.
Pet the kitty.
Too.
Yeah. I love that target too with all the clays on it. That was a lot of fun.
Dude, that looked pretty good.
That run was actually the best part. Yeah, I knocked it out.
I was talking about the loading.
Oh, the loading.
Well, that's the most important part, anyway.
Yeah, it is.
You were petting the kitty, bro.
That is the term we talked about. Yeah, ironically, we call it petting the kitty. You know.
That was that video Jana Reeves did. That was like right when I was getting into 3-gun. I watched that video. I was like, okay,
Kitty.
I'll pet the kitty. I have a cat.
My cat's under my table right now.
My cat's gone. So what else do we want to cover too? We want to go. I don't know if you guys all have the same sponsors. I don't know if you want to, Annette, tell us about your list of sponsors that you have to give them some credit. You know.
Oh, sure. I definitely want to give a shout. In addition to SIG, who has been really great to me, and a lot of the Team SIG sponsors. And let me pull up a full list because I don't want to forget anybody.
Oh,
They're
please,
fantastic
thank
people. So Team SIG is also supported by Lucas Oil, who is also a personal sponsor of mine. We've talked about their products. They're why I can be quite so lazy about my gun cleaning during the season. We're also sponsored as a team by OpSpec Training, which is a training company that was started by Bruce Gray and Jerry Jones, and they do some really interesting classes. I'm hosting them here out in Philadelphia at the end of April, beginning of May for their advanced competition pistol. They're believers in shooting out to 50 yards, so I believe this is going to be a fun class. We're also supported by Top Gun Supply, who everybody who shoots SIGs probably knows about because they're a great supply.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yep. SBD Tool, who does a lot of our machining work and our custom parts. They helped us develop our 320 specific rear sight that's available through Gray Guns. Gray Guns, of course, is a major sponsor of Team SIG because Bruce does everything for us. I think that's the only way to put it. We're also supported by ESS iPro and 511 Tactical, GT Targets, and Blade Tech. I personally, in addition to SIG and Lucas Oil, I'm supported by King Shooter Supply, which is a local gun store just north of Philadelphia near King of Prussia Mall. They're just fantastic people. I really love them. I'm really happy to be associated with them. They also make a purple bullet through their PC Bullets line, so my practice ammo is purple, and purple is the one true color. I'm supported by...
I like those. I did see those. That was really nice.
They're fantastic. I'm also supported by Philster, who is known for their appendix inside the waistband holsters, as well as John's really creative, really fantastic custom work. Brilliant Backstraps, who's helped me develop a stippled and glittered grip, which is how my Purple Zebra SIG grip came to be. Full Bore Firearms does Cerakote work for me, and I just recently became a Noon ambassador.
Oh, yes.
Branch out a little bit from the firearms world. So Noon is a additive for water to add hydration and some minerals and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna, I use them all the time now. They're gonna be with me at SHOT so that I can survive the show and, just trying to branch out and reach out to people who are outside of the firearms world, because I think that one of the most important things we can do as shooters and as women shooters is show people what hashtag the NRA type looks like. And that's people like you, that's people like me, people like Jackie, who are just really not those scary militia types in the backwoods.
Yeah, exactly. Like the guys with the big beards, right?
We're not that scary.
I know.
Just a giant teddy bear, right?
Well, I think that's a good point, though, reaching out to companies outside of the firearms world, because it helps more mainstream what we do, like you're kind of saying.
Exactly.
I think it's a wonderful idea. So, Jacqueline, if you want to give some shouts out.
Oh, Annette just did the hard part for me. Thank you, Annette. I appreciate that. I also am proud to support Offhand Gear, which is offhandgear.com. It's a low company, and Sandy is wonderful, and she makes fantastic shirts for women and men, and she also has a series of these beautiful and wonderful handguards. You may have seen them. They've got really intricate cutouts, and there's some flowers and some other designs that are really cool, and she's just
I like
awesome.
flowers.
Oh, they are really beautiful.
They're really beautiful, and she does them in amazing colors and some different finishes. They're really cool and different because how you look on the range is more important than how you shoot.
Hell yeah. Hair gel.
Always. Exactly.
Well, one of my nicknames is The Beauty Behind the Blast, which is the name of my blog. because you got to look good on the range. But there's a reason for that when I say that. If you look good behind the gun, you probably know how to shoot that gun pretty well.
You can fake it pretty well either way.
But until I started looking like I knew what I was doing, I wasn't hitting anything. Wasn't hitting much after that either, but it helped.
I was going to mention before, I like your attitude about how when you first started shooting that you were celebrating being close to not last.
Only by 5 seconds that time.
That's a good mindset.
Nice.
I was gonna share your blog real quick too, Annette.
Yeah.
Just give me a second to pull it up. But
it all gets better. I went back to that match that I came in last place all the time at, and I won high overall a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There's hope for everybody, no matter how bad you are when you start.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized that you had this. You had the pictures of your stuff on here. I didn't even pull it up. I missed the side chat we were talking about earlier. And
now
I
you
just
can
saw
see how
that
long
you
it's
put the link.
been since I've updated my blog.
Not as long as it's been since I've done my blog.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So, the zebra stripes on your pistol.
That too. They're on all my guns.
That's one. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
I'm also the purple zebra.
Nice. And I'll have to pull up. What's the other link I was going to show you guys? Oh, wow. What? You may have mentioned it and I forgot now. Your shotgun. Is that what I'm looking at here?
My shotgun and my SBR.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom right.
That's a cool image actually. What kind of shotgun is that?
That's a Benelli M2.
Right on.
I'm a very lucky girl.
And tell us about your SBR real quick.
That's something that I built a couple years ago. I actually like using it a lot in short 3-gun, sort of like the base stages, 100 yards and under. I was able to find an unfinished set of lowers and have a consecutive serial numbered set with my husband that are both SBR'd. We built them out as completely different rifles. So that's our little bit of romance. What? Don't you have consecutively serial numbered guns with one of your best buddies?
No.
No, we don't, as a matter of fact. We should do
Let's
something.
talk to Bruce about that next time we get married.
I think so.
Off on the mic. Nice. Yeah, BFF forever, right? Nothing says that like consecutive serial numbers. So I guess we're almost at 10 o'clock here, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I guess. I don't know if you guys have anything else. Ryan, do you have your story of the week for the disgruntled gunsmith or whatever?
I don't know. I have something funny to talk about, like the guy that tried to shoot 10 millimeter out of his 45 or something like that.
Oh.
But I got a real quick one. This guy brought in 3 shotguns. They're all old. One's the J.C. Higgins or Sears pump action, an old 1100 and an old Mossberg 500. And he brought them in a couple months ago and said that they were all jamming. They wouldn't run. The shells were getting stuck. So I cleaned them. Went in, did some work in the chamber and slicked them up a little bit. Went out and test fired them, and of course they ran. Give them back to the guy. So I come in this week and all 3 of the shotguns are back. I'm like, what the heck? And my boss tells me, he's like, yeah, the guy says they're still not running. So I took all 3 of those shotguns out to the range, and I shot light loads, heavy loads, 6-shot, 7-shot, 8-shot through all of them, and nothing. I had no problems whatsoever. So that's my frustration for the day, I guess you could say. It's like when you try to bring your car to the mechanic and you're like, hey, it's making this noise. And then the mechanic takes it out and he's like, I don't hear a noise. I don't know. So now what do I do with those 3 shotguns? I tell the guy, hey, I just shot 10 different kinds of ammo out of these things and they're running just fine. Or do I try to find a problem and charge him money? Does he want to pay me money?
So what did you end up finding exactly again?
What?
I missed part of that story. What did you end up finding with it?
Nothing. They all ran.
So that was it, and you gave it back to him?
No, they're still at the shop. I didn't call them yet.
Oh, I got you.
I'm still trying to figure out how to handle this situation.
Yeah, because I was reading Toby's comment. He goes, "Yeah, 3 shotguns walk into a gun shop like the beginning of a joke." I don't know. I had one other question that came in. I just saw it for the ladies here. The question was, what do the ladies every day carry and why? As far as like I guess a concealed carry pistol or whatever.
Sword.
The sword. So, Jacqueline, what do you carry every day? Assuming you carry something every day.
A Ruger LC9. But I am going to get what Annette is carrying, or going to be carrying, I should say.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Annette, what are you carrying? I know, but you gotta tell everybody.
Well, I am currently carrying a Car P9 Covert, which you'll have to have been in the gun industry for a while to remember that one. And I'm going to be switching to the P320 Subcompact.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a nice setup. I really would like to get a 320 at some point in my life. It's on the list. So I don't know if you guys got anything else you want to add real quick or not.
Nope. Just shout out some of our sponsors so you can find them.
You girls love hashtags.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
I missed that
I
one,
gave
Jackie.
a new one today to you.
Oh, you missed this one? Here. This one's really important, actually.
Oh, yes. Please.
What
this is
it?
absolutely necessary.
Oh,
How money for shot?
Yeah, I might need
Yes.
that too. Yes, we're gonna have to figure that one out, Ryan. Who can we give that message to?
no, I'm going to teach you how to avoid that over there.
Oh, I like your style.
That's the way to do it.
That's my buddy Ryan. Likes to party. So anyway, guys, I guess we'll wrap it up. Thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, go out and have some fun shooting.
So thanks for having us.